Hey everyone, it's James from the podcast you're listening to right now. Just before we get started, I wanted to let you know that Nick and I recently made an appearance on The Simpsons Index, another Simpsons podcast. We have an appearance on episode 66. The theme of that podcast is that you watch 3 different episodes, one from each decade, and you evaluate them. So we watched Lisa's Rival from season 6, Grift of the Magi, or however that word is pronounced, from season, I want to say 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there. And then some bullshit episode from the new season, the later season. So go and check that out. It was really nice to be on there. We had a good time. Hopefully you will like it too.
We won't take up. Yes, let's be the
Pods.
in
Trying to figure out how to do things with the least, number of steps
Very
involved.
conscious of the fact that there's a huge chunk of ice in my glass here.
Oh, excellent. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That ice clink.
picking up the tinkling. Interesting. I wouldn't tap the table with the new microphone.
No, Jesus, this is intense.
This is sensitive. Cool. Yeah, we have a new microphone.
Yeah,
I assume that you, the listener, is wowed by the difference.
Yeah, it's very substantial. It's kind of terrifying. We are in a constant
Yes.
state of terror, staring at this
Yes.
monolith in the middle of the table.
I am so a couple of changes. We've gone from sitting on the couch, or if you're me, sometimes occasionally laying on the couch, to sitting at my kitchen table. There's a towel on the table, and we're staring at each other. It's a bit.
We also both showered beforehand. That's why there's a towel down.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you'll have to speak up. The table's wearing a towel.
Yes. That is true.
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts.
This is a little wrap-up episode we're going to do of season 2 of The Simpsons, in which we discuss our. Oh, I can hear me
Crinkling the
crinkling
pages.
paper. This is where we're going to wrap up season 2 of The Simpsons. I'm going to begrudgingly give my top 5 episodes. Top 5s aren't something I enjoy doing, and you're going to give yours with gusto.
Yes, because I believe that people will want to listen to a thing that says top 5 on it.
Sure.
Yeah, this is pure marketing.
That sounded so good through my headphones. Alright. That's just for us. I doubt that bit's going to remain.
This
in
is
the
a really
episode.
nice microphone.
Really good. Okay, well, do we go your 5, my 5, your 4, my 4, your 3, my 3?
Yeah, sure, that sounds like the proper order of operation.
Alright, so let's start with your numero 5.
Numero 5. Brought to you by BuzzFeed. We're not brought to you by BuzzFeed, but number 5. The episode I picked as number 5, kind of thought it was going to end up higher than this, but in my final deliberations, I settled on number 5.
Yeah.
1 fish, 2 fish, Homer dies death dream. That was my number 5.
You know what's astonishing? My number 5 is 1, 2, blow blue. Which is what I've written it as.
1, 2, blow blue.
Yeah, we've both got the same. That's crazy.
Yeah. What are the odds that we would both, we the two friends, would like this episode about the same amount?
Well, there were 22 episodes in season 2. There are 5 possible positions. I can't do that maths in my head.
It's 1 in 22, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Or it would be higher than that because some of the episodes are bad. Or not, you know.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so
think
1 fish, 2 fish, Homer dies death dream, or as you call it, 1, 2, blow, death dream, is the episode where Homer eats some bad fish and dies.
Yes, the Fugu episode.
So I guess we can just discuss this one in tandem. What did you like about this episode?
This episode has a lot of heart for me.
Yes.
I mean, not enough to put it at number 1 on the list, but it's, we get to see Homer go on a little journey. A little journey of what's important to him at the point where he thinks he might die.
Little Journey was the PlayStation Vita version of the hit game Journey, wasn't it?
Yes.
Little Journey? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have a Vita somewhere. I've never played
Do
it.
you?
Oh wait, no, I've got a PSP somewhere.
That would have really shocked me if you had a Vita. I feel like that's a thing that I should have known about.
That I should have reported it to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a PSP and I've literally never played it, so
Okay, good.
I'm not even sure why I bought it.
To play Little Journey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the game when you're in the red robes going across the sand?
Yes,
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
All right, I know things.
but little.
Yeah, no, it's a really good episode. It's got some solid things in it. It's got Homer discovering stuff.
Yeah, I like it because it's a good cautionary tale about the dangers of eating fugu. And Homer dies at the end, which I like.
I mean, it's also got a mention of the infernality of brass, which is something I really enjoy keeping an eye out for.
Yeah. Great episode, slightly racist, but other than that,
Other than that, pretty good.
yeah. It is, Richard Sakai was upset by the episode because he didn't like the way certain things were portrayed in that, and that's fair enough.
Very fair.
Matt Groening, I've read, like, production notes on a later episode from Season 3 where he wrote in the margin, be careful with representation here. Richard Sakai was, for instance, embarrassed by this one particular episode.
Right.
And that was this one, the number 5 best episode of Season 2.
Oh, okay. You put a really interesting spin on that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is, oh, bro.
Are you fucking serious?
Where are you, though? That's your number 4?
Did you just look at my list and copy it?
No, this is not a bit right now. This is...
Fuck, this is genuinely amazing because my number 4 is Oh Bro.
Where are you, though?
Where are you though? Oh, that's a nice ending. Yeah, once again, a classic, very important episode. If someone said to me, what episode of The Simpsons should I watch because I've never seen it before for some reason, maybe the kid that grew up in the Munro box.
Colossus, yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah, Colossus. If Colossus came to me and said, which episode of The Simpsons should I watch? Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? It's definitely up there with the ones that they should be watching. Sorry. Oh, Bro, Where Are You, though?
Yeah. Oh, bro, where are you, though? Is your reasoning largely DeVito-based in the way that mine is? Are you a fan of the DeVites?
Am I a fan of the DeVites?
Yes.
Maybe not to the extent that you are a fan of the DeVites. As
Big
we learned
fan of the
last time.
DeVites.
Mad fan of the DeVites. I've got a box of
Love
Vita
me
Wheats.
some DeVites.
I've got a box of Vita Wheats over there. Are they the same thing?
That's how he's maintained his vitality over the years, yeah.
No, it's the Vita Wheats.
Vital wheats for the DeVites, he says as he barrels into the supermarket.
Barrels in.
Yeah, and they try to stop him, but he eats all of them.
I'm really concerned that our lists are going to be completely identical. I'm not even sure I want to ask you what your number 3 is.
Well, we're still on number 4.
we're
We're
still on
going
number
to talk
four.
more about Danny DeVito.
Okay, sure.
This is a Danny DeVito podcast for like the next minute or so.
I would lean back in my chair, but I'm terrified that the microphone will pick up that noise. So please carry on. Tell me more about Double D DeVites.
More about the DeVites. You've never watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, have you?
No.
Which is very DeVito centric. He's central to it. He's fantastic. He's very lovable. He's a bit of a kook in ways that I appreciate.
Right.
I feel like Danny DeVito's continued success is this like people look at him as this sort of like body positivity sort of symbol, I think, in some ways, because he's short and bald and historically has been rather fat, although he has recently lost weight. He actually looks really good right now. It's I just think DeVito and the success of DeVito and the fact that DeVito's a really nice guy and the fact that he's so fucking good in this episode, I just have very fond thoughts about Daniel DeVito every day. So seeing the DeVito in this one just makes me happy.
Has this turned into Pods in the Key of DeVito?
This was always Pods in the Key of DeVito.
Pods in DeVito of Springfield.
Yeah, it's always sunny in Springfield was the alternate title for this podcast. Fuck, that would have been a good name. Is it too late to rebrand our entire podcast?
Well, I mean, you did just get 250 business cards printed.
That's true.
And we're looking at them right now.
Yeah, we have actual business cards. If you ever see either of us in real life...
You will be given a business card.
Me probably more specifically because...
you tend to socialise.
I've been going to events and handing these out. If you were at PAX Australia last weekend, good chance I tried to give you one of these business cards.
Yeah. Didn't you say you gave one to the organizer of PAX?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a total whim as well. Like, I don't know what we were talking about, but I handed him a business card, and he said, wow, that happened really fast. Did you just have that, like, on hand, ready to hand to me on the off chance it was relevant? I said, yeah, that's what happened.
I've had my hand in my pocket all day holding 3 of these cards, hoping someone will mention something.
And he said that he doesn't like podcasts, he doesn't like listening to them. I said, well, just download them then, whatever. It adds to our numbers, I don't care.
Nice.
Which is a good thing to tell your friends, by the way. Just download the episodes, bro. You
Just
or ma'am.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Just subscribe.
Just give them 5 stars,
So
son.
that's all we want.
Number 3. Really worried. I think we're gonna have to say number 3, by the way.
3 Men in a Comic Book?
No.
Oh, right.
Ah.
Okay, cool.
Well, let's talk about your number 3 then.
Ah.
3 Man and a comic book. See, what I really liked about that episode is not on my list, but what I really like about it is the way the DVD kept skipping. We missed a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
And see, what
Really cut down on time when recording.
And so what I assume is that this episode deserves to be there because we only saw about 2/3 of it. And I don't remember what happens in that final third, but I have a feeling it's probably good enough to put it in number 3 on my top 5 of season 2.
The boys all fight. They all want the comic book.
The boys are back in town.
Yep. The boys are back in town. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's got nice little. It starts off as being teamwork. They all band together to get the thing, and then everything goes wrong because Bart is for some reason delusional. Have you thought, by the way, that the entire conflict in that episode? And I don't think we discussed this at the time, but the entire conflict in that episode is because Bart is for some reason unnaturally suspicious that everyone is going to do the wrong thing by him.
That's true.
There's actually not a conflict until Bart imagines there is one, and then everything falls to pieces.
Yeah, I think my favorite stuff in that episode is the low-key story of Bart trying to earn $100 more so than the 3 lads with their comic book
With Mrs.
tying
Glick.
each other up and probably suffocating Milhouse in his sleep and that sort of thing. I forget what happens in that whole time skip. My number 3 was, as far as I'm concerned, another triumph. Brush with Greatness.
Oh, I see what you've done there, Mr. Segway.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
I like it because Marge has to draw Mr. Burns' dick, and that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it has Ringo Starr in it, and he hung it on his wall. I was listening back to our Ringo Starr episode, and we cannot do Ringo Starr impressions, as it turns out. So,
Hung it on me wall. No, it's terrible.
yeah.
Do you think that if this was a modern episode of The Simpsons,
What if Simpsons modern?
what if Simpsons modern?
Would Homer have iPhone?
Do you think that if it was a modern episode of The Simpsons, they would have shown Burns' dick?
Ooh, would they have shown? Well, actually, the laws around this have changed. They can't even show Homer's butt anymore. They can't show butts on The
Really?
Simpsons anymore.
No more butts.
Yeah, that's yeah. If Bart calls up Mo and says, "I'd like to see more butts," Mo has to respond, "Well, sorry, you can't anymore."
Not in this time slot, Buster.
Yeah, that's an actual thing that's happened. Like, the classification rules or the time slot rules have changed.
Right.
They can't show naked butts anymore.
Well, what happens to the reruns then? Do they now get pixelated?
I think
The reruns
they
are
still
exempt.
can,
Right.
but they
they
new
can't
episodes can't show
They can't create new butts.
Homer's big old butt.
Big old butt.
Big old butt out of the picture.
Right.
So I don't think they'd show Mr. Burns as a shrivelly little fishy dick.
Fishy. I mean, if we're doing top 5 of adjectives I didn't expect.
Well, this is like an ongoing thing I've had going through the season. Referring to dicks as fishy, I'm going to keep it going.
Oh, good to know that I've been present for all of these recordings and hadn't picked up on that as a running thread.
But what I really like about this episode is that it is very enthusiastic
Sure.
in ways that I don't think the show always is. Every character wants what is best for the other characters in this one. They're like a very happy family.
Yeah.
They're all working together. This one's really nice.
And also, the John Lovitz's character, whose name I don't remember, I feel like he's, and I have no research to back this up, but I feel like he's one of the few kind of authority figures who's actually positive in the entire universe of The Simpsons. Cause
Yeah, I think there's a few in this season, but I think
Yeah.
he's the most successful one.
Yeah.
He's the one that I like the most.
Because if you compare him with Sylvia Winthrop, for example, or compare him with Comic Book Guy, anyone who's in a position of authority tends to be a complete jerk, a little bit like the Seinfeld universe.
Yeah.
But, John Lovitz is just screaming another triumph.
Well, art teachers in any sort of media can sort of go in two directions, I think. They can either be, there's one student in their class who they're trying to tell, oh, you're like a great master, but you don't see it in yourself. I'm going to build you up specifically. Or they're like the harsh hipster art critic who doesn't understand their students' work and is very jaded.
Right.
This dude is different because he loves everything that everyone produces and is very encouraging.
It is good.
Like, even, he sees a guy painting a handrail, he's excited by it. He's just such a force of just pure good.
Yeah.
He's like Dougie from Twin Peaks. That's what I like about him.
Dougie, the pizza guy from Pizza Hut from the ad from the 90s.
Sure, Nick. Dougie the pizza guy from the Pizza Hut ad from the 90s.
Yeah. Do you remember those ads?
I remember that they existed. I don't remember the content of them.
I have a feeling the guy that played Dougie got done on sexual assault charges, which isn't very nice.
Christ almighty.
Anyway.
This is a comedy podcast.
Sorry. Is that it for number 3? Should we move on to number 2?
Number 2.
What's your number 2?
Okay, my number 2. Very, very close to being my number 1.
Right.
But in the end I thought, really there's only like a third of this episode that I fucking love to bits. I'm going to put in number 2.
Sure.
Treehouse of Horror.
Treehouse of Horror.
Quoth the Raven, what a shine on this one.
I was going to guess what third of it you really loved, and I'm guessing it's the Raven third.
Yes.
Yeah, and it
Even
has
though
your
it
favorite,
is-
and it has your favorite character, Sarah
Norman
the Preparer.
Pleat.
Oh, this is number 1 on my Norman watch list. I think
Oh, yeah.
as the most irrefutable sighting of the most irrefutable appearance.
The strongest proof of Norman.
The strongest
in this
proof,
world.
The strongest proof of Norman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And I, like I said, nearly went number 1, but then, this is the least Simpson-y thing they ever did on the show.
The Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I love it so much that I can't even joke about it.
Yeah.
I just think it is the coolest shit in the world.
Yeah.
And I love it. The other 2 parts are also good.
Sure.
But that part, fuck, so good.
So good.
Yeah, it's all I care about, really.
Sweet.
In the world. I mean, I try to have happy experiences outside of that 7 minutes and it just doesn't happen for me.
That's all good.
But that,
Right.
it's pretty good. It's good content.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Lisa's Sub,
Lisa's Sub, where Lisa gets that huge sandwich.
where she gets that huge sandwich.
Yeah, and spends a long time just gnawing at it.
Yeah. And Marge keeps throwing away the sandwich, makes Lisa sick. She eats it out of the bin.
Yeah.
Lisa's Sub.
Yeah, and then Patty takes her to that theme park and she becomes the lizard queen.
Patty.
Yes, Patty.
I really enjoy doing that.
A reference that I feel like few people are going to get, but it's good.
I don't care about the people.
We do love you though. 5 stars, please.
Lisa's Sub. It's just a really solid episode for me.
Yeah, I had an odd reaction to this one, as you might recall in our episode.
Oh,
where
you
we
broke out in that rash.
Yeah, I did. We had to go to the hospital. Do you remember how we've done episodes on all of these already?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lisa's Sub, I got very caught up in the fact that I don't think Mr. Bergstrom's actually a very good teacher.
Yeah, there is that.
But I do understand. You Are Lisa Simpson is really wonderful.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things to write on a piece of paper and hand to someone. Mm-hmm. Not as good as See You in the Car, Millhouse. That's my absolute favorite.
That is also good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a note from a friend who, when she was moving to Melbourne, Joe, if you're listening.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Yeah, she gave me a post-it note that just said, See you in the car, Joe. That was like 6 years ago. I still have that note.
That's
still
really good.
sticky enough that I can stick it onto things.
Nice.
So, Joe, if you're listening, still have that note. Still means a lot to me. You actually moved back to Adelaide and then moved back to Melbourne again. But I've got the note from the first time.
You've got the OG note.
The OG note.
Great.
The OG Millhouse note.
The OG Millhouse note.
Yes.
Sweet. The PG Woodhouse first draft.
Yes, exactly. So Lisa Substitute then. Good episode.
Yeah, I've got
it's
nothing-
fine.
I've got nothing
It's
else to say
somewhere in my
about
top 10, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like I'm probably alone in that. People really love that episode.
What's your number 1?
My number one episode of season 2 of Little Scene, animated sitcom The Simpsons, children's sitcom The Simpsons, is 2 cars in every garage, 3 eyes on every fish.
Ah, Blinky.
Yes. And I feel like this would not have been top of my list in previous years if you had asked me.
Interesting.
But this year, where the events of this episode have kind of actually happened, has
I
really
see what you've done there.
made this episode feel very prescient, and has also kind of made me wish that we had followed the lesson this episode was trying to impart,
Yeah,
and not elected,
a monster.
yes, an actual literal monster.
Yeah.
Not, we're Australian, so we didn't do it, but still, I feel like we have some level of responsibility just in...
I mean, to be fair, we've elected our own share of monsters in the last
yes, we have.
couple of years, so
Yeah.
we're not completely without...
Yeah, and we can't shy away from just how bad things are. And I feel like this is an episode that resonated very hard with me at this specific point in time.
Sure.
And is also very funny and well constructed. And I think I mentioned during the episode there's a moment where you can see Marge realize how she's going to take down Mr. Burns that had never quite clicked with me on previous viewings. It really seemed like a great bit of foreshadowing this time. So,
Totally.
fucking good episode. I don't think it's one that most people would put at the top of their list.
No, I wouldn't have thought of putting it on mine.
But having rewatched it recently...
Yeah.
That's a very good episode that I think is undervalued.
All
So
right.
it's top of my list for season 2.
Excellent. Speaking of very good episodes that are not undervalued, so number 1 on my list, and James, I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on the statistics for our podcast, but
I've been checking in on them.
there is one episode that we've done which is far and away an absolute barnstormer in the ratings, right?
Yeah,
It is number 1 on my list for season 2,
sure.
Dancing Homer.
Dancing Homer.
Dancing Homer. Now, as far as I'm aware, this episode is universally loved by everyone. Would you say that's correct?
Well, it seems like it's getting far, far fewer downloads than any other episode we put up.
And see, I just don't get that.
By a
'cause
wide margin.
I just
Because
don't...
it's not very good. That's
Look, I'm going to have to call you out there because I just don't understand. Because
Okay.
it's got that great song about softball at the end of it.
actually, Nick.
What?
You know what? Let's hear the rest of your list first.
Okay, so it's got that great song about softball.
Yeah, okay.
It's got Lisa joining the football team, which is a great little feminist bit.
Alright, go on.
It's got that moment where, Homer and his barfly friends enter that contest about who can go the longest without pleasuring themselves. It's a great episode.
Nick, that was you and me. That's what we did last weekend.
Well, that's not the turn I expected you to take.
Well, the thing is, we
Jesus.
based our competition on Seinfeld, though. That's where that's from. That's Seinfeld.
What?
Have you seen Seinfeld?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but before.
Oh.
Yeah, and Nick, none of that happened in Dancing Homer.
Wait, which one's Dancing Homer then?
That's the one where Homer does his little dancing, and he goes to Capital City.
Oh, fuck, I've made a big mistake. I've made a mistake
Capital
here.
City, it's that place where a bum feels like a king, and a king feels like some kind of nutty cuckoo super king.
Nutty Cuckoo Super King. Well, I've really made an error then. I got that episode all wrong. Fuck. All right, that's it.
Nick, have you forgotten Dancing Homer?
I just scribbled out my entire list. My entire list is valueless now. I'm throwing the pen away. I'm throwing the page away. This has been Pods in the Key of Springfield.
So you did. So your number 1 was whatever your number 2 was then,
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was.
and your
now.
actual number 5 was probably Brushed with Greatness because that's a very good episode.
I hung it on me wall.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's the end of podcasting.
Yep.
Well, we're about to watch the movie again.
Oh, God. This evening's getting worse with every turn.
So next week you'll hear us. I think
I
what
might
we're
be
going
in
to do this
tears.
time though is
Yes, sure.
just so people have a reason to listen to us watch the movie again. I'm going to be on the lookout for the nefarious actions of Dr. Colossus in the
Yes,
background,
yes.
and you're going to specifically be on Norman Watch.
I'm going to be, yeah.
That's the goal for the second watching.
100% Norm Watch is what I'll be on.
Yeah. So you'll be looking out for deviations from the norm, and I'll be looking out for the deviant Colossus.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
All right, so that is our wrap up of season 2 and fucking Dancing Homer and the Trump episode. Those are the ones we liked.
I'd say they're triumphant winners.
Sure.
Thanks. We're on Twitter.
Yep.
We're on
Keith
Instagram.
Springfield.
We have business
Constantly
cards.
Keith Springfield. Yep, we got business cards. If you see us on the street, say, "Hey, mister, really like your podcast." And maybe I'll give you a card.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Woozle Wuzzle.
Talking softball, Mattingly and Conseco.
And Griffey's grotesquely swollen jaw.
All right.
Steve Saxon is running with the law.
Can't believe I got the episodes wrong.
Talking home.
I was so sure the contest was in Dancing Homer.
In
I just imagine Lenny walking in, like sliding into the door, going, "Well, I'm out." I can't do a Lenny. Fuck. Why did I pick the? My impressions.
I guess it would be Homer, Lenny, Carl, and Barney.
Yes, it would be Homer, Lenny, Carl. Oh no, you need a woman in there.
Okay.
Homer, Lenny, Helen Lovejoy, and Barney.
Yeah, The Simpsons has no women in its cast. That's the... I mean, I guess you could have Marge, but that's not in character.
No. Although, you know, Jerry and Elaine used to be a couple, so you could play off that dynamic and put Marge in there. But you're right, it's not in character.
Yeah.
Maybe Krabappel?
Krabappel.
Krabappel.
Yeah, that I like.
Because we've seen that, you know, she's got some sex drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever see that movie Sex Drive?
Have I seen Sex Drive?
It was like a mid 2000s teen comedy thing, but it was done in like 2009, well beyond that format of movie being sustainable.
What a crazy description. It was a mid-2000s sex comedy, but made in 2009.
I don't know.
I kind of understand what you're saying.
I guess I don't have. I don't have the meta language to
What
talk
if
about
American Pie
movies.
2009?
What if American Pie 2009? Thank you.
There we go. Although I think they did actually bring out an American Pie film in like 2011, I want to say.
Well, that's not the question.
Okay, so the point is we're going to start working on this spec script. The contest, except it's The Simpsons, we'll call it.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
The Simpsons.
All right.
All right.
So that'll be the next season of the show, us writing that.
Let's do that.
Sting over.